everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. So it's Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 2 o'clock Pacific, I do a sketch challenge. I hope you like the sketches. So I post the sketches after the live on Instagram and Facebook. So you can find that if you miss any of the measurements. If you don't use Instagram or Facebook, just send me an email and I'm happy to send you the sketch. I haven't got around to kind of combining my sketches and posting them in one place yet, or putting them up in my online store for sale. So if you're interested in the sketches, let me know, because that's something that's in considering people have asked me for. But I do post them on social media. So if you're on Instagram or Facebook, you can find them there. All right, let's get started. Now, first of all, I'll go over the sketch, and then I'll show you, I'm going to use a brand new stamp set that I haven't used before. So this is the sketch. It's pretty basic, actually. I don't even have a die cut on here, which is unusual for me. Or I'm not using a die cut. So your card base is 5.5 by 8.5 or 4.25 by 11, up to you. Layer number 1 is just a little bit smaller than I usually use. So it's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So you'll have a little bit more of your card base showing around the edge. Layer number 2, which is the blue layer on mine, is 3 inches by 4 inches. This piece across the middle is 1 inch by 3 inch. And then I've said 2 by 2. So I'm using a circle. I'm going to pop up some color behind it. I'm using a circle. You could use a different shape, whatever you want, but something roughly 2 by 2. And then figure out where you want your sentiment to go. I'm actually going to put my sentiment on my circle. I have an idea for a card. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, so let's bring in, this is the stamp set I'm using. I haven't used this one before. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Pam. Welcome. It's called Hello Kiwi. It's kind of cute. Now, these images actually are 90%. So the actual stamped images are bigger than I was expecting, but there's kiwi. You could have this be a peach. This is raspberry or blackberry or boysenberry, all sorts of berries that you could make that into. And then I'm using thanks. I make a lot of thank you cards. So, hey, Betty, welcome. I love this one. You hold the kiwi to my heart. That's very cute. Happy birthday, hello. I like that sentiment on or the font on the hello. Okay, we'll see how this goes. Now, look at these colors that I'm using. Granny apple green, because I thought, well, a kiwi kind of is that bright color, but I'm combining it with Poppy Parade. I like this color combination, so we'll see how it goes. Now, I've got a piece of Granny Apple Green. This is 4.25 by 11. It's already scored at 5.5. It's one of the pieces that I pulled out of some card kits. So there we go. 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5. Always fold into the mountain or the raised line. Okay, so then I've got a piece of basic white. That's my 3 3/4 by 5. And then my 3 inch by 4 inch piece, which is layer number 2, is also basic white. So because I want to do some stamping on mine, I'm going to kind of create my own DSP. I decided to add an extra layer. So this piece of Poppy Parade is just a peekaboo of Poppy Parade. So this is 3 by 4 for the basic white. It's 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. So if I want to add an extra to the layer, that's typically what I do. I just typically add like 1/8 of an inch, maybe a quarter, but in this case, I just really want a peekaboo of, I like the wide borders too, Cindy. I just want a peekaboo of the Poppy Parade in this case. All right, we'll talk about those in a minute. So let's do some stamping and create kind of a little piece of our own DSP. I've got Granny Apple Green for the inside of my kiwi and Old Olive. You could probably use Mossy Meadow too. So this is the inside piece. Now let's just see. I think I'm going to stamp off my Granny Apple Green. Like this. So I'm just really kind of creating, I'm not even going to put a full kiwi on here. Like that. There, created up my own DSP, kinda. Now let's put the outside of it. And I'm using Old Olive, like that. I'm using this full strength, so we'll just take, it's kind of cool actually. I had never played with this, but I've seen some really cool cards made with this Hello Kiwi stamp set. So yeah, fun. That's, yeah, really like it. And I could turn it a little bit. Depends, I'm not quite sure which way I'm going to go. Okay, so let's adhere it to this Poppy Parade. Didn't think I needed a huge amount of color. I just wanted a little bit of color. Oopsie. Now I'm going to do an audition here because I may decide to emboss this piece of basic white. So this is kind of how the card is going to go. So my layer number 3 is this piece. Oh, I cut that too. I'm going to have to grab another piece because I cut that too small. Although I probably could hide that a little bit. No, I need another piece of Poppy Parade. I don't know why I cut that too small. Anyway, so this is what my card's going to look like. Although, you know what? I think I can hide that. But I do think I need to emboss this piece of basic white. So I'm just going to quickly grab an embossing folder. So let's use the kind of my go-to embossing folder these days, and this is that exposed brick embossing folder. I love this. So we'll run this through. Just off here to the side. Should have done that beforehand. I'm getting ready. I have a class scheduled for our museum in town, so I was cutting for that, which is Saturday. So I have 12 brand new, well, I don't know if they're brand new stampers. I shouldn't say that. Brand new to me stampers, which is really cool, on Saturday, and an in-person class, which I haven't been doing a lot of in-person classes, so it's nice to kind of get back to that. Okay, so yeah, I think definitely looks good with it embossed. You guys probably can't even see that. There we go. Can you see? There we go. There's that lovely texture from the embossing folder. Okay, and then I'm gonna do mostly flat until I get to the circles, and then we'll. Ooh, loving this color combination. I wasn't sure about it as I was pulling the cardstock. It seemed like a good idea, but you know, you never know what it's going to look like until you actually pull it out and get going on it. Okay, so I'm going to hide my little piece that's too short right there. Okay, looking pretty good so far. Okay, so I punched out. I'm loving these circle punches. So glad we have them back. So I've punched out the garden green from the 2-inch and the basic white from the 1 3/4 inch. And I'm going to stamp using Tuxedo Black Memento. And I'm going to stamp the thanks in the middle of this one. And one of the favorite things about this suite is it's got some splatters, which I absolutely love splatters. And I'm going to do it in Old Olive. I'm going to stamp off. And I'm just going to do some splatters over top of the thanks. And while I have got my ink pads open, I am going to stamp on the inside of my card. Let's turn that over. All right, down here in the bottom. So stamp that in Old Olive. And we don't grow kiwis. We got lots of apples this year. We have pears for the very first time, which is cool. And our neighbors gave us some figs, so we've decided that a fig tree is in our future. I love fresh figs. Okay, my neighbors, when I lived on the mainland, my neighbors in New Westminster had a kiwi tree, and they actually, I don't know, I think I've got this right, maybe I don't. You have to have a male and a female kiwi in order to get fruit, and they did, so it was fun. We always used to get kiwi from them, and the squirrels loved them. You could see the squirrels running around with these kiwi in their mouths, so you kind of had to pick them before the squirrels got them. There we go. Okay. I'm kind of liking this card. Oh, peaches. Yeah, I love peaches too. A few years ago, we tried to grow it's called a fruit salad tree, which is kind of hard to believe. But you can grow, so my apples are all grafted, so we have 4 or 5 different kinds of apples on our apple trees. But you can buy a fruit salad tree that has, it had some different kinds of cherries, nectarines, peaches on it, but it didn't survive. Oh, yeah. We didn't get many apples last year. I think it kind of almost seems to be every other year. Now, I pulled out these. These are the 2021 to 23 in color pearls. So these are last year's in colors. So Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky. I gotta get testing this. Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis, maybe Sweet Sorbet, but although I can't remember now. But I think this color will go well. I couldn't find a Granny Apple Green or Poppy Parade, but I thought maybe these in color pearls would look nice. The nice thing is they're not an exact match for Sweet Sorbet. Thank you, Betty. My brain is. So they're not an exact match. They don't, of the color, but they go nicely and you can kind of coordinate them. And I'm realizing you're probably not seeing that color very well. Let's see that there. So those are the colors for these pearls. So I thought they would go nice. So there we go. There is my thank you card based on a sketch. I stayed pretty true to the sketch today. Sometimes I go a little bit rogue, but today it's pretty close to the sketch. And again, using the Hello Kiwi stamp set, which I hadn't used before, and that's always fun to use stamp sets that I haven't used. Yeah. So I am so excited. I'm trying very hard, but I got my pre-order. So as demonstrators, we're able to order from the annual or from the mini catalog or any catalog about a month in advance of customers. And so my pre-order arrived. I am so excited. I may actually do an unboxing, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I haven't quite decided. It might be tomorrow. But yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, but I'm trying very hard not to open it yet. One of my most exciting things that I'm waiting for is the Winter Meadow suite, and that's what we're using for the Creativity Abound Stamp Camp in October. So if you're interested, if you've never participated, oh my gosh, they're so much fun. We actually have 14 demonstrators participating now. We've added a new demonstrator from New Zealand and a new demonstrator from the Netherlands. And so actually it's not 14, we're back to 13. Sorry, I had it wrong. 13 demonstrators. We two of the demonstrators from Australia have taken a break. So how do we choose for the stamp camp? we have a democratic process. We do a poll in our Facebook group, and whichever one wins the poll is the one we choose. It was an overwhelming vote for Winter Meadow this time round. Last time with the Fresh as a Daisy was not quite so unanimous. Let's just say that, although it turned out amazing. But we just kind of choose based on what everybody wants to do. And we have to recognize that the South Pacific doesn't celebrate Christmas the same way we do. So it's really hard to choose things like the berry Christmas and some of the other ones. This one is not necessarily Christmas, it's just wintry and it's just so pretty. So if you've never participated in a stamp camp, and demonstrator from the Netherlands is joining us, Betty. If you've never participated and are interested and you live in Canada, reach out to me and I can tell you how you're able to join us. It's open to demonstrators and customers and whoever would like to join us. So registration will open. I'm kind of doing a pre-registration list at the moment, but you'll be able to officially register once the catalog goes live at the beginning of September. But if you want to get on the list so that I can remind you, that would work too. All right, everybody. Hope you have a great day. I will be back live tomorrow for a mystery challenge. I hope you join me then. Happy stamping.